It's Wednesday, November 16th, 2022. It's 6:01 PM. This is the Economic Development Commission. In attendance tonight is Michael McMahon,
Serena Fuller.
and hopefully we'll get our other members here in a few minutes. As of this point, we don't have a quorum, so we're not taking any votes, but we'll start the process of going through. Any public comments?
I have one. Inga Hoteling, 45 Klein Road in Southwick. I know we've got the Small Business Saturday coming up on November 26th. And I didn't know if it might be a fun idea to do a Taste of Southwick. And what my thoughts were is we could get little boxes from the dollar store, put a little slit in them, and any of the businesses that are promoting small businesses, whoever purchases something from them can put a raffle ticket in with their name. I would be willing to contact the restaurants and little delis in the town to see if they would be willing to donate a gift certificate. So that anybody who shops in Southwick has potentially an opportunity to win a sampling of a Taste of Southwick. Minimal cost.
With the raffle ticket, anyone who goes into the stores, or where are people getting the raffle ticket, or?
We would have a counter box at the register that would have Taste of Southwick supported by the Economic Development Commission, and it would be one raffle ticket per purchase. And we would collect all the boxes at the end of that Saturday, and then have a couple of drawings, and have a few winners. But it might be just something fun to do and a little bit more engaging, sponsored by the EDC. I know the timing is wicked short, but I believe we could facilitate it. And I've got some great contacts with all the restaurants already in town, and we could get a really cool smattering of Taste of Southwick.
Okay, just for the record, Jack Cody has arrived, so we now have a quorum. What do you think?
It sounds great. So these would be donations from the restaurants?
Absolute donations.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. How many restaurants do you think, roughly?
I think we
5
could
or
probably
6?
get at least 10.
That many?
Well, you've got the Notch. They have a
Right.
deli. Blossoming Acres. They have food. Millie's. Or Mills. Right? Is it Mills? Millie's. McDonald's even, because it's a local owner. Dunkin' Donuts. Mrs. Murphy's. Southwick Inn.
Rail
The
Trail.
Rail Trail.
Kettlebread?
Kettle Bread. So, I mean, there's numerous restaurants.
You got the restaurant list.
Even Sergio.
The hash
Even
house?
Sergio from the Westfield Brew. So we could get a variety of gift certificates and maybe have 5 or 6 winners.
So then, November 26th, let's say 5 or 6 PM, now we've got a box at a number of these restaurants.
They wouldn't be at the restaurants. They would be at whoever is supporting small business.
The small businesses, okay.
So
Okay.
we'd need a little team, or maybe 1 or 2 people. I would definitely volunteer
to
myself
Pick up the
to
boxes.
go get the boxes. And then we could have at that following Sunday, we could meet somewhere and just draw the winners. Or wait to do it at the next EDC meeting.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand the mechanics of it. Okay, we can kind of mull that over.
Yeah, so let me, so this would be someone who came into one of the businesses and made a purchase?
Right, so
They
say
can
they
put
go
their
to the
name
Old
in.
Mill Pond.
Yeah, okay.
There's a box there that says Economic Development Commission
Yeah.
supporting Taste of Southwick. Free drawing. And then we would merge and purge, do the pick the raffle tickets out, contact the people, and I would either drive to them or they could come to me to get their reward. Or come here to the EDC meeting. Whatever's the easiest. We want to make it super easy for the people to do
Okay.
that. But the minimal cost for the EDC would be buying these boxes, and they have some cute little boxes at the dollar store
That are $1.25.
that are $1.25. I'll cut the slits in it. I am confident there's raffle tickets around here because there was a bunch of raffle tickets at that craft fair that I went to, where people would fill out
See,
their.
each organization that runs raffles, they get their own raffle tickets from wherever, Family Dollar or Staples or wherever it might be.
But it might just be something fun and engaging to do, to also give back to the people who are supporting Shop Small on that Saturday. And it gets our name out, or gets
Right.
your name out there as well.
Okay, it's something we can think
Yeah, it
about
is
as
something.
we go through the meeting. In terms of,
I have a few comments, if I may.
oh, sure.
Diane Gale, 5 Point Grove Road. Nice to meet you, Jack.
Nice to meet you.
The recordings on your recorder here, there's a couple that are cut off halfway through the meeting, so possibly you're running out of battery on those.
It was still working last time. I don't know why it stopped, because I stopped the recording in time and ended it, but it was, when I went to go back to listen to the minutes, yeah, it was cut off.
Cut off,
At
okay.
about 24 minutes, I believe.
So I was curious, I was going back to listen to them. Did you happen to reconstitute this board after this fiscal year's reappointments?
No, we haven't done anything on that at this stage.
Okay. And I don't know if you're aware, but the planning board voted down including the Economic Development Commission in the major development review.
That was one of the things I was
Comprehensive
gonna talk
impact
about tonight.
statements.
Do you have any understanding of why that sentence or two disappeared?
Yes. Do you want me to do that publicly?
Sure.
From personal conversations, from meeting, remarks.
This was the old version, and then this is the finalized.
It's because they don't have really, I'm gonna put it very blank, they don't have any respect for this commission. And they don't see any purpose for involvement. Even though a major development is certainly an economic development.
Because the March 24th version,
Yes.
we were in there, and then I was at the,
Initially, there were 5 that I had included.
right,
The version that was through discussion week after week, there were 3 and I was pressing, there were 2 and I was pressing for the other 3. I think in all of the anxiety over those questions and issues, in their minds, all of them had to come out. And all of them meant the same thing. So they even took the harmless ones out,
because at
which
the,
are part of a normal presentation by a major development anyway.
yeah, because at the November 1st meeting, they were doing it, it was on one person's laptop, so the public, you didn't see what the wording was. And then they finally agreed, oh, we'll put November 1st date on here, so they did. So then I got a copy of the November 1st version, and that's right, I could see the stuff that was gutted, but no understanding or explanation as to how it got.
They didn't state why, but
There we go.
just in conversations I had with everybody, that's why.
Yeah, that's why
There's-
I brought the
One
two
was with
versions
it.
with me.
And then the
Okay.
other one without.
So just wanted you to be aware.
Yeah.
And again, that's part of what I hope I'm able to contribute and Inga's able to contribute is to help elevate your involvement and your impact on this town. And then I just have another general suggestion, similar to Inga's. Have you considered starting, or would you consider starting a Facebook group or page called Southwick Small Business? Member businesses in town would have to be located in town. And they could, and you would turn off comments so that it's just a one-way thing and that prevents any bashing of businesses or nasty comments or spam. But businesses can post their expertise, their specials, their hours, professional services offered, anything for our town small businesses. And then you would also be able to post your fairs, your events, what you're supporting in town, or help other businesses promote via that and I would say a Facebook group so that the town could all participate in it and see it. And then if I'm looking for a particular service, all I have to do is go search that, and I can see who's doing that in town.
That's a good idea. Two comments on it. Number one, it requires the approval of the select board, which I don't think is a big deal.
Yeah.
But it does require their approval.
Yeah.
The second thing is somebody to do it. I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook.
I'm not on it at all.
You would
So
open,
it
you
would
would
have to
open it
be-
to the businesses and they are able to post their
Oh.
own things.
Yeah, they
You
have the
don't- you
content.
Yeah, we don't make a comment, so who's this going to, or you wanna just?
That's my question.
Okay.
Just a copy for you and a copy for
Okay.
him. So you wouldn't need an administrator, cause you can turn off comments, so there's nothing you need to respond to. You don't need to post unless one of you
Mm-hmm. So
or
this would be open that any business or any person
businesses could
could
post their
post to it.
stuff. And then if you had anything you wanted to contribute, one of you, or, I'm sorry, what's your name?
Cindy.
Cindy. Then Cindy could possibly go in, or you submit it to Jim Middleton and he does it, cause,
Okay.
you know.
Okay, that's some, food for thought. Now getting on to
That's it,
our.
I'm sorry, I'm done.
Going back to changes in business developments, which we have every month, at every meeting. Small Business Saturday is the Saturday after Thanksgiving. I've distributed, we always get something from American Express, but you never know in advance what you're gonna get until you open the box. What you get from them has been shrinking every year. The first year or two, there were 2 big boxes. Then it's been shrinking and shrinking. This year's box weighed 3 pounds, some odd ounces. So what they had in there were some bags. The bags shrunk from previous
Oh, they did.
years. I was gonna drop some off at your place, but you were closed on Friday. You had a
yeah.
note on the door.
Yeah, for Veterans Day,
For
yeah.
Veterans Day. So I went up and down College Highway, giving a small amount of materials, give them just a couple of bags, there's some stickers, a couple of little 8.5 by 11-inch posters, etc. I got a lot of good response from businesses. Everything from one business that's in the flooring business, someone else sells bicycles, someone else sells fish and pet food and thing. And I was asking them, as long as they were talking, how business is going, how did, I see you survived, the last 2 or 3 years with COVID, etc. And overall, most of it was positive. Some places you just leave it with an employee or a cashier, or they're very busy, like some of the restaurants. And you just hand it to the cashier and they say, oh, I'll give it to the manager, kind of thing. But people seem to be enthusiastic. One business I went to, I think I was there once previously when they first opened. They sell all sorts of farm-related stuff for growing plants. It's very interesting. They've got an awful lot of inventory from ground up 9 or 10 feet high. All sorts of stuff. But the guy was appreciative that,
Is this the hydroponics?
Hydroponics.
Next to my office?
Grow your
Yeah.
own pot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, very
That's what I call
popular.
it.
but hey, it takes different kinds of businesses. As I said, many of them are interested. I gave it to one business who said, well, we're not open on Saturdays. I said, it's the whole season. The concept, people are spending money, be it at Walmart or Home Depot or whatever, depending on the kind of product,
Right.
for them to consider spending a couple of bucks locally at a local So let's say the businesses overall have said that they're surviving, they've expanded, they've changed, they've dropped certain product lines over the last few years. But most of them are still at it and enthusiastic. One business said, we'll see how the holiday season goes. Because between rent and utilities, that's a real killer. But, so at least we've got, that going on. In other news, 42 Depot Street, which is the planned condo project, the
Yes.
Malone property, it's still listed on Realtor.com as contingent. So they haven't closed on anything, but apparently it's somewhere in the process.
But now that the leaves are off the trees, you can see flagging in there,
See what in there?
flagging on
Oh,
the trees.
oh.
I don't know if it was there before, when the leaves were on,
Yeah, I don't know.
but I certainly noticed it this weekend.
And it is sold, they did sell the land.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
they sold it for
Right.
$750,000.
Right,
It's for sale again though,
But
correct?
that company that got all the approvals to do the construction, in effect, they
They're
wanna
selling the
flip it for
package.
2.2 million.
Yeah.
They apparently don't wanna actually do the construction on themselves, that they're trying to find a buyer to do it. Something that's very interesting, going along with the previous Carvana and the master plan and everything else in town, a lot of people said they don't want a lot of development, they like a lot more open space. The former Griffin Land, now known as Indus, INDUS REIT, owns 200 acres up on North Long Yard. And on that property, they've got a buyer to buy that whole chunk of land. It goes right up to what used to be called the Metacomet Trail.
Yep.
Buy that whole chunk and have that for open spaces.
The buyers, the Commonwealth of Mass.
The U.S. Department, U.S. Park Service.
One or the other.
Right.
I thought it was Mass. It's Massachusetts.
It's the federal government, not the state,
Okay.
apparently. But that may or may not happen, because apparently it would go through some other nonprofit first, and they're getting appraisals done on the property, then the federal government has appraisals done and all that stuff. So assuming all of that goes through, the closing would be next spring sometime. And they're talking about a price of around $2 million, subject to these appraisals and whatever else. So that would be there'd be a chunk of land
That would
that-
not be touched, right?
that wouldn't be
Yeah,
touched.
Open space.
Because trying to take land that the National Park Service has and trying to convert that to anything else takes an act of Congress almost. So you wouldn't see houses or anything on that. There's gonna be a public hearing, I think it may have been Monday night, for some kind of storage facility on College Highway. I don't know the details on it, and I wasn't at the public hearing, but apparently it's something like 1 or 2 buildings would be some kind of public storage further back in the property, wouldn't be out by the road.
And he wants to make them look like barns, so they're not offensive to the rest of us.
Is that over by the hash house?
Yes.
Where Dr.
Yeah.
Ledak was? Because I think that was the dentist that bought that. And
Yeah,
the same one that
it
bought
was
that, the bank
The
too.
bank,
But
right.
he's sent, I guess the oral surgeon's gonna go into that other, where the bank was.
Oh.
He's leasing it to oral surgeons, what I heard.
Oh, okay.
So that's what it's gonna be in the back there then.
Yeah, apparently somewhere in the back. So we'll see what happens. And we already talked about the planning board adopting the comprehensive impact statement handbook. So with what they've adopted already at this stage, economic development is not mentioned anywhere. So therefore, we wouldn't be involved in questioning potential developers or questions or any of that stuff. there wouldn't be the requirement for, it. We can possibly
Not
insert
in
ourselves
an
in.
organized meeting
Right.
with them, correct.
Right, but I just mean, that takes something off, potentially, we've been talking about, and Inga's been involved with it, et cetera, of, well, how should EDC be involved, and what kind of questions we should ask potential developers and issues, et cetera. Go ahead.
I would suggest that if a major development does come before the planning board or Board of Appeals, if they're looking for, sometimes they go there first and ask for, how do you guys feel about
Variances
this? How do you
and
feel
things.
about it,
Right.
When you become aware of those, if it were me, I'd be asking to have a meeting with them.
Uh-huh.
And I would be offering my opinion and my
Mhm.
expertise, whether those boards want to hear it or not.
Right, but it just,
And you've got financial people now here that
Right.
can support those questions, and
right,
that will help you build that impact.
right. But as I say, at this point, well, first, there may or may not be a major development in the next 5 or 10 years that would meet
Right.
this criteria. But if there is, Kind of-
Even a not so major.
Right, any
right,
type of development.
there's a commercial and residential property, and I found it on Realtor.com a few days ago. It's where Westfield Experience Unlimited is, where the indoor swimming pool is, et cetera.
Wilderness.
Wilderness
Wilderness
Experience.
Express, yeah.
That's for sale on Realtor.com for $625,000. I don't know if anyone else was aware of it. I just happened to bump into it.
Wilderness Experiences? Didn't they just sell it like a year ago or 2 years ago?
I believe they still own the property. This would be selling the real estate.
Oh.
So you can have a business renting
Oh, okay.
something, and it may be the same people or different people that own the real estate. This is talking about selling the real estate, because they talk about there's an in-ground pool, that there's 2 apartments, one on the first floor, one on the second floor, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll see what happens with that. I try to check Realtor every couple of weeks, the same as I check LoopNet at least once or twice a month, just to see what's for sale in town, because many times there is no sign. You don't hear it through the grapevine. You have to kind of bump into it. So that's some of what's happening on that line. Anyone else know of anything else going on in town in terms of business?
Well,
I
Prifty's
don't-
Motors was sold. Timmy owns it now. And
Well,
that
no,
was
he
rented.
doesn't, it didn't go through.
Oh, it didn't go
No.
through.
I heard he bought the land in back, but not the building.
Okay, because
Oh,
I
you heard
see
that.
new trucks there, and there's
Yeah.
a sign in front that says ECS.
Cause Nancy leased it to this guy with maybe an option to buy. He was
Oh,
down
she
at
did?
Tynex, yeah.
Okay.
Cause something happened with the deed with Timmy, cause I know Nancy Prifty pretty well. And, it didn't go through. So I don't know where she stands with it.
So did she sell the land in back?
Well,
To
she had
Village?
another garage, I think that's still attached.
Yeah,
I
I
think that's still- yeah.
don't know.
But she had another garage on Prifty Way that she sold to somebody else,
Oh, okay.
maybe a month ago. Yeah, so.
So we'll see what happens with that. I did notice on Facebook, I glanced at Facebook, I don't have a login, I don't post messages or anything. Somebody was asking about Subway, and someone else responded back that the business is being sold and someone else is, in fact, is taking over the franchise, but they didn't have any detail. Because that's been closed a couple of months since the person passed away.
Yeah.
Anything else going on in town?
Not really.
The growing facility that was going down the other end of College Highway, that land is for sale again.
Yeah, that, which is kind of strange, was something like 74 College Highway or
Yeah.
something.
774,
Yeah,
and that's for sale again. So they
because they had gotten permits a couple of years ago, and the town approached them and they said, you know, the time frame to start construction or something is quickly
Narrowing.
coming up. You need to do something. And
They were
apparently
back,
didn't do
they
anything.
were back to the Board of Appeals with a smaller plan and got some pushback. It was lesser than it was before, and they got pushback they didn't get before, so maybe they just said. I don't know, or maybe they found a better place that wasn't so,
Of course, interest rates have skyrocketed in terms of construction or anything.
they were downsizing a bit and,
Yeah.
you know, making it a little more efficient according to their discussion, but, and then they, haven't come back.
Which end of town that, towards Weston, or that?
Did get
by
toward
Meadowview.
Granby.
Okay, by Meadowview, okay.
Yes, 74.
Yep.
There's a couple of new houses on the
Yeah.
left, and this was kind of a little bit, the land is a little bit below the road.
Okay.
It was there, because I know that went through that whole process. As we mentioned earlier before the meeting started, just chit-chatting, waiting for members to arrive. The special town meeting went on last night, and the TIF for Wally Computer got approved, and also creating a utility district so that Southwick could bring in Westfield Fiber or some other company to provide internet service, which would be in competition with Comcast. There were almost no questions. There were only a couple of questions that were asked last night at the special meeting, and then the vote just went on through. What do you think of the for Small Business Saturday, this raffle idea, the
Taste of Southwick.
Taste of Southwick? What do
Sounds
you
good to
think of that?
me. We don't have much time, like you said, publicity wise, but see how it goes. I don't know, I'm for it.
What I could do is I could have my assistant come up with a little flyer that we could put right onto the back, or the box. And, Mike, if maybe you can find out if there's any rolls of raffle tickets around here that we would have the ability to just acquire. Just acquire.
Borrow?
Acquire.
A
We wouldn't be
previous,
bringing any back.
a previous police chief, we've had several in the last 10 or 15 years, said if the town wants to do something or a 501c3 charity wants to do something, at that time he said, I see nothing. So that seems to be the way raffles operate in town. Officially, there's a whole drawn out process.
Oh, live on the edge, Michael.
I've known of organizations in town,
Right.
and in this case, we're calling it a raffle, you're calling it a raffle, but we're not soliciting money,
No,
which is totally different than
Yeah.
if you're soliciting money,
right.
you know, you're getting into all sorts of tighter rules. In the state of Connecticut,
Called
for-
a drawing.
for
Not
for
a raffle.
decades, raffles had to be approved by the Connecticut State Police headquarters. And then if there were big winners, they had to
Because
pay
it's a form of
tax
gambling.
on their winnings, and then IRS was involved at the other end. Where is this on your tax return? I was involved with that decades ago. So we could do that. Would be a matter of picking up some of these little boxes, see what they have at the dollar store, picking up a couple of those, and getting some of the tickets, the raffle type tickets, because they sell them like at Family Dollar or similar stores around town. They'd
I
probably
don't
be
know.
cheaper
No.
than Staples.
So the mechanics would be,
Yeah, I'm trying to
you
figure that
go
out too.
to Village Pizza, say, and you buy a meal, you get a ticket, you fill it out, you put it in the box.
Whoever participates, got a question for you, Micah.
Mm-hmm.
Regarding the shop small on the
Right.
26th, are there specific businesses in town that participate with that, or is it just a blanket wide for Southwick?
It's kind of a blanket wide. I distributed a little bit of stuff to some of the businesses on College Highway, but there's no registration process or anything else. For example, the Greater Westfield Chamber of Commerce, a couple of years in a row, got businesses to register with them. They put out a map of downtown Westfield of where the businesses were. If you were a chamber member, your business was in bold, it was bigger font. And if you weren't, it was in tiny font so that you could take a microscope and you could find the name of the business that wasn't a chamber member. You know, so,
Okay.
but
So Dollar
we're,
Dollar Tree is not participating though, because it's not a Southwick small business.
Right.
Right, so it would be,
Not that there's a taste of Dollar Tree, but
right, exactly.
for instance.
Right, but,
Right.
so these boxes would be placed at, say, Blossoming Acres.
Right,
Cowards.
right,
Red Willowitz's, Country Colonial rather, the bike shop,
right,
the Southwick Florist.
right,
So it would be specific businesses here in town that we would then place a box with a strip of drawing tickets where the person upon purchasing of an item would just fill out their name and phone number and just pop it in the box. They don't get a ticket, nothing, it's just very simple, keep it simple.
right,
Then we would collect the boxes that evening,
So it's just a one day.
just the one day, it's just
Okay.
the 26th. And then do a drawing that evening
I would do it at your next meeting, so you
At-
can record it
at
just
the
in
EDC
case.
meeting, okay, so that would be December 17th-ish?
right, whatever the third Wednesday
We
is.
meet in
Yep.
December, don't we? I
Yeah,
think we are.
December 21st,
Okay.
I believe, according to the calendar.
Where is the Small Business Saturday being advertised? Is it on like the Southwick Community Forum or?
It'll probably be on the community forum. I'll try to get an article in the Westfield News and a couple of his other places. I've given stuff to businesses on College Highway.
Yeah.
And again, I didn't go for the name brands, I went for the local places.
Exactly,
So maybe when your assistant makes that flyer, you could give it to the Facebook, not maybe not in
Yeah.
the newspaper, but for the Facebook, you could attach it to that. So that way it's like an incentive kind of.
and.
Where are you putting it on Facebook?
Yeah, which page is it?
On the
I don't
Southwick
know.
Community
Do we have
Forum?
one?
We don't have
You don't.
No.
No, we don't have one
No.
yet.
You don't yet, but this be the idea.
But anybody
This
could
could be
for
the,
it.
right, this
So
would be the
unfamiliar
benefit
with
of creating
Facebook.
it.
As long as you're a member of the group, you can post things. It has to be approved, but usually they do approve it if it's appropriate.
And once I see it there, I share the heck out of stuff. So I
You
can
you
put it
do.
on, I can put it on all the other
I
forums.
see you're sharing about meetings and different things going on.
So if this sounds like something that we would want to do, I would be more than willing as a non-member to get gift certificates.
Okay.
Okay,
So, thinking of the restaurants, it would be the Notch, because they have the deli. Millie's,
You got your list with you, Michael?
I don't have it with me.
McDonald's.
That's a chain. That's not a
Oh, okay.
but it's owned by.
It's owned by a local. Yeah, so McDonald's.
I guess.
Dunkin' Donuts too, were you saying?
I
There's
would
a
probably
few.
keep it just to Mrs. Murphy's.
Okay.
And
Summer House?
yeah, I'm going down College
Yeah,
Highway.
Summer House, Hash House.
Hash House, yeah.
McDonald's,
Tucker's.
Blossoming Acres,
Blossoming Acres.
Summer House, Hash House.
Summer House, Southwick Inn,
Village.
Village, Roma.
Tuckers.
Tucker's, Gristmill Cafe.
Oh, yeah, yep. Great.
I don't know if Kettlebread is local or not.
What about
Yeah,
the
they are.
Italian bakery?
Although they're going
Patricia's, yep.
public.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know, I know, I know,
They're
I know.
trying that
All
route.
right.
Yeah, they're, yeah. Let's see here, Sergio's, Westwood Brew, rather. And then Hash House. And then at the lakes, we've got,
Brass Rail for
Brass
The
Brown.
launch,
Rail Trail.
what's the other one, Brass Rail?
Launch. 101 is closed now, right? Did she close?
I think she'd still give something towards it,
That's gonna be something else.
yeah, so.
But we're hitting her with the
She's
Brass
for
Rail.
Rail Trail,
Oh, and the
Brass
bar
Rail,
shop.
and the bar shop. Yep.
And at the other end, you have, used to be Little Red Riding Hood, I don't know what it's called now, Red's Cafe.
Red's
Red's
Cafe.
Cafe.
And there's
This is a lot of
oh,
restaurants.
and you got the
Put
CPC
boxes in all
Smokehouse
Oh, the
underneath the
smokehouse
launch,
right there.
Hmm.
And is there still a pizza place on that front?
I think it's
By
closed.
Red's?
There's a pizza place under the launch,
Yeah.
Congamon Pizza?
Kagamon Pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, by Little Reds, I think it's supposed to be a commissary kitchen now.
Oh, it is?
Is it open?
I don't know if they ever opened officially yet. I know they had a couple inspections to do with the Board of Health, but that was the last I heard about it.
So what I'll do is, first we'll get the flyer put together. I'll get that done by tomorrow. I'll start reaching out to these businesses tomorrow and see if they would be willing to participate with a drawing for our November 26th Shop Southwick. And we'd be looking for gift certificates only. And we would account for those. We would then have at the December 21st meeting, the drawing, and then contact the winners and coordinate them to either come here to pick them up or we can mail them to them.
So you got approximately 20?
20?
Exactly.
So we'll have 20 winners?
Well,
Yeah,
let's
so
say
each
you had
business would have
10,
a,
let's say you had 10 or 15, because some of the restaurants,
Well, what if you had 20?
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
they all
Right.
run business. Does that mean you're gonna have 20 drawings?
I think it depends on the denomination. I
Or,
mean,
and then that was the next question, are you gonna have
Right.
a limit on the denomination on it?
I would say for these places, I'd be looking at least $25.
25, that's what I was thinking.
Yep, at least a $25 gift certificate, minimum. And that way there, because we know if somebody comes in with 2 people to any of these places, you're gonna spend more than 25
Yeah, sure.
bucks.
right.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
great way to help stimulate a little bit of business in town and spread the holiday cheer. La 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 la.
Is Santos small business?
I believe they're for sale.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I noticed,
really?
apparently they had some kind of note on Facebook the other day that they were temporarily closing for reorganization and vacation and whatever. Apparently it was nebulously written, because
Oh,
my
the-
wife read the thing on Facebook, and I said, that sounds kind of
What does that mean?
Yeah. The grind. I just put them down on there.
Oh, yeah,
too.
the grind.
Yeah.
And what's the other place called? Gristmill, what is it called?
Gristmill Cafe.
Cafe, okay.
Daily grind.
Oh, the Daily Grind, that's right.
One of what I could think of is the restaurant separate at Edgewood? Or is it part of the golf course?
It's part of the golf course. I know I tried to make reservations there a few weeks ago, and the guy who answered the phone said, if you want to be a waitress, we can open.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, apparently
We were
Doc's
there once, and
Tavern?
That's exactly what
they've
it
had
Right,
staffing problems.
Doc's Tavern?
I mean, it's tough when you're golfing to get served.
Because they used to be open on
That's an
Sunday
interesting
mornings
way to
for
answer the phone.
breakfast.
I thought it was creative.
We went there one Sunday morning, the door was locked, the guy opened the door and he says, right now, we're not gonna be open for breakfast, we're opening at 11 or 12, whatever it was, for lunch. He says, I can't get help.
Yeah.
That was pre-pandemic, he was struggling with help.
Right.
But right there's 21 restaurants locally, or little dining establishments
That's a
that
lot.
we could target
Hmm.
and just give something back.
Right.
So. Okay, so with the flyer, who should
Yeah,
I
the
send
flyer.
the proof to?
Send it to me and also let me know how many boxes you need, in other words, how many businesses
Well, with the
want to
businesses,
participate.
if we were to look at the small businesses here in town that would probably be getting traffic that day, starting at the other end of town, it would be Cowards, Blossoming, Notch, Country Colonial, the Bike Shop,
This is replacement of the boxes.
yeah,
Yeah,
placements
that's what
of
I'm wondering, yeah.
boxes, Suffolk Florist, Gristmill Plaza. The only business in there that I could think of would be,
There's the Italian
remember.
little pastry
Bakery.
shop, coffee shop. There's a new furniture store. They've only been open about 6 weeks. I gave them some material last Friday.
in Gristmill Plaza?
Yes.
What about the
Speak of
pet
re-inspiring.
store, you know, where Subway
Pet
used to
store,
be? Subway
yep.
used to be.
Pet store. Then there's the Designer Consigner.
Uh-huh.
That's right, yeah.
IBS.
The chimney place.
IBS.
IBS.
But you're
There's
looking for
the
high traffic
chimney and stove
locations
place.
on that Saturday.
Yeah.
I would hope they'd watch these boxes pretty closely. You
It's
know
just
what I
gonna
mean?
have names in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
So if we look at just those businesses alone, there's Cowards, Blossoming, Notch, Country Colonial, Bike Shop, Italian Pastry, Southwick Florist, the furniture store in Gristmill Plaza, the pet store, Designer Consigner, and IBS. That would be it.
That's basically it. Because I went to 18 businesses on College Highway last Friday.
Wow.
A few of them weren't open or
How busy
Whatever.
is the dog wash on Saturdays?
Oh, and the old Berkshire Bank?
Yeah, and how about putting it mobile and the Pride Station? That's busy.
Mobile's locally owned. Pride Station.
I don't know if that's local.
I think he's a local guy.
the Pride chain was sold last year by Baltic to a company from New
Yeah,
York
they franchised
who's now
selling it.
they're not franchises, they're all company owned. And the company in New York is now selling
Selling
it to
that.
some company from Indiana or
Don't
Ohio.
forget Pride though.
Yeah, I know. It's,
Yeah, it's changed a lot in a short period of time.
So
I
it'd
don't
be
know the name
12.
of it, but the convenience store near Bab's Corner. That's still Southwick, right?
That's Connecticut.
That's Connecticut.
Is that Connecticut?
Yep. So that'd be 12 businesses. So we'd have to get 12 colorful, beautiful festive
Right.
boxes from the dollar store.
And then you have to create a label for the boxes.
Right.
That says
Right.
Oh, I-
Southwick Economic
And you would-
Yeah,
Development
I,
Commission.
the label and getting the boxes, I can take
would you
care
do the
of.
liquor stores?
I gave the small business Saturday
Is
stuff
it-
to the liquor
That
store
was
just
high
up the
traffic,
street.
exactly.
That's a high traffic. That
high
one,
traffic.
Saunders and Southwick.
And that's a
Where's
different
that?
side of town than
Right.
Saunders.
Yeah, that's not on College Highway.
But no, but
But why not,
that's
right?
There's
where
nothing wrong,
traffic-
there's
that's-
nothing
yeah.
wrong with
There's
that.
still a lot of
Traffic.
people over there.
I,
And
just
then
last
Southwick
Friday, I was
Package Store.
hitting
Yeah.
College Highway.
Cause that's got a
Does
lot
anybody
of
know the owner's
traffic.
name at Southwick Package?
I don't.
I don't know.
Okay.
What about that re-inspiring? Is that a,
Oh,
Oh,
re-inspired.
It's not
Yeah.
always open.
She
random
seems to be open
hours.
on weekends,
She takes a lot of
you
vacations.
know, like Thursday
Random
through
hours.
Saturday
It's
or
risky. I don't
something.
know. But you got Oak and Keg package store too.
oh yeah, Oak and Keg, yeah, there we go.
That one's busy.
Oh, that's on the other side of the lakes there. Yep, okay. So 12, 13, 14, 15, if they all agree.
The tanning salon in Griswold Plaza might tastefully tan, I think it's called, right?
Is it busy?
I mean, no, I used to go there when I was younger, and sometimes I'd have to wait.
Now that you're old, you don't think
I
about
know.
that.
And what about, all right, now again,
There
what
was a lot
about,
of older men that would go
yeah,
there.
I guess hair salons, no?
Oh, maybe the one next across the street from the summer house. They're always pretty
There's
busy.
one by the Notch.
Designer.
And there's designer. I don't know, I'm just getting a little too.
Do you want one
What's it
box
called?
at each?
Sage hair or something down there?
Yeah, that's the new one down at 320 College
Mm.
Highway.
And Blooms
Oh, Blooms
the
too,
one.
yeah,
Blooms.
Blooms.
in the center. That's a lot of boxes.
That's a lot of boxes.
And it's a lot
that
of
too many?
traffic. It's a lot of women who are
Well,
the
you don't
ones
wanna
who don't
alienate
wanna
anybody
cook.
either.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's a problem, yeah, you don't want.
You don't wanna say, oh, well, they didn't get me.
Don't expand to used car lots because we've got 10 or 20 of those.
No, so that right
It's not a
now,
high traffic area.
Is
these
that
days.
enough?
if we go with designer, the
Blooms?
hair salon and Blooms, because that's a new one, that's 19,
If they put one in.
if they put them in.
So does that mean they buy something from that place and then they get the ticket from doing that? Okay.
Yeah.
Goods or services.
Yeah, goods or services, right?
Right.
Okay.
Do
So
we need-
$25 for boxes.
Yeah, say
We
$25.
got- We got it in the budget.
You gotta
I'll-
put your budget, right?
You're gonna do it
I'll-
personally?
I'll get the boxes and I'll put labels on the boxes. That's not a problem.
Okay.
We should go together, Mike, so we can get really colorful boxes.
Well, you're gonna have to shop the top shelf because all the good ones are on the top.
Because we're gonna need something that.
What kind of boxes are you talking about?
They
Just,
have
like
those-
gift
they have-
boxes?
They have
Okay.
the really
Alright.
cute
Alright.
Christmas boxes right now, the holiday boxes.
Hmm.
So we don't need them. They won't need big ones, but we need also ones that would be big enough to be able to put
A
Yeah,
label on.
the label
Yeah.
on it, or to be able to have it.
a tent or something on it?
Yeah, something that's going to support it,
Yeah.
and laminate it or
That's a good idea. You can put a lot of verbiage on the tent.
on a tent. Right.
Hmm.
Yeah,
should brainstorm on that.
let me know how many businesses and I can go to the dollar store. And I can make labels and stuff.
We could do a fun art and craft night.
It's just we don't have much time.
No, we don't.
No.
You
No,
know,
we don't.
if you said this is 3 months from now, then you could have all sorts of creative ideas. and-
We got 3 volunteers right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can always tell these guys, you know, they're not here. They volunteered.
I mean, I have a label maker at my desk, so.
Oh, there you go.
I just
How
use-
big?
I just
Yeah, how
use
big of
the-
labels?
But you know what, we should try to keep it as
I know,
simple
you
as
need-
possible
you need
too.
I just
Don't you
use
think?
the Avery 5160 labels. There's 30 on a page. One page, I've cranked out the whole thing.
That's why you might need a tent. You can print the card stock and just fold it and get, because you want your name on it. This is
Right.
your
Right.
sponsorship.
Right.
You want your name on it, but you also have to tell them what it is.
Right,
Right.
That needs some space.
right.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, that's the marketing. coming
yeah.
out.
So let's for flyers then. I've got your email address, Mike.
Mhm.
Would it make sense for me to send it to you, Serena,
Sure.
and to you, Jack, as well?
Or Mike, you can send it, or.
Sure.
Sure.
it's-
What?
Yeah, you can send it to me, that's fine.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can send it to
What
me.
email address, Serena?
The Serena K3 at AOL? Or no, what do you have, the S Fuller? Which one do you
I
have?
think I have S Fuller.
Okay, do the S Fuller at collegehwi.com.
Okay, and Jack?
JACKCOTE02@gmail.com.
Okay. And Cindy, right?
Yep.
And your email address?
C Barton at southwickma.net.
Okay. Could zip that over tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Start making calls tomorrow to the businesses. Get the flyer approved. Crank them out over the weekend. Literally,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you have to get the boxes to
get
the
the
businesses.
boxes, deliver them to the businesses next Friday, on the 25th. Right, that's
At
not
the same
Friday?
time as
You think that's
the
enough
raffle
time?
tickets, right?
Right, with the raffle tickets
The
too.
raffle tickets.
Yeah, because it's really for one day
Right,
then,
'cause you don't
right?
want them to
Right.
put them out 3
No,
days early.
No,
No.
so they get them Friday afternoon at some point. Then we pick them up Saturday evening.
Mhm.
5 o'clock. Or 4. Probably 4. I like daylight.
It's dark at 4.
And so we'll draw them here.
We'll draw them at the
the
December
meeting,
21st.
There'll be somewhat limited by what time businesses are closing and so on. You can't be in every place simultaneously, so
Right.
Maybe they
probably
can put a
just plan
copy
the route that way.
of the flyer with
Right.
the box, so it's there. Like a copy of the flyer with the box, so the person who's, giving the ticket to the person can give them more information, so it doesn't have to all fit on.
And that's all after Thanksgiving, right?
Right, that's all after
Right.
Weekend
Thanksgiving.
after, yeah.
There'll be a tent there, Cindy.
Oh, it's a little card.
Yeah, 10,
So
yeah.
you'll have the pretty little box, a little slit in it, and then Economic Development Commission sponsoring the Southwick, or the Taste of Southwick. Thank you for shopping small. Drawing will be December 21st.
It's a lot, I'm just trying to process it all. Okay, yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good.
So,
Good idea.
I can help you distribute boxes.
okay.
If you need another place, I know there's a new yoga studio a girl I went to high school with. Daily Dose Yoga in Griswold Plaza.
That is also on Griswold.
And Lindsay DeRosa.
Daily dose.
Yeah, Daily Dose. Lindsay DeRosa owns it. She would probably, I mean, she's from town. She graduated from Southwick. She lives in town too, so she would probably be willing to put a box out. I know she has classes all day long.
Do you want to contact her?
I could.
Sure.
contact her, yeah. Just ask if she would be interested in
Yeah.
putting a box out.
Yeah.
Is she open all the time?
Yeah, she's open every day. Yeah, she's got classes.
Daily dose.
Yoga takes no breaks.
Speaking of restaurants, did we include Malicious?
No, we didn't.
Oh, good one.
Oh, that would be a big.
Yeah, can't skip
Right,
her.
so
Yeah.
Are they?
Oh, wait, but he's closed for this.
I was gonna say, is he close
So,
to the
doesn't
season?
matter.
He's still open at the moment.
Oh,
I
is
thought he
he?
was gonna be closed, but then he's got hours on his sign.
Oh, all right.
That was a
And
good
some new
catch.
flavors of ice cream.
What about the crepe house?
Hmm.
Wow, we got a lot more businesses than we think, don't we?
Oh, we've got an awful lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the crepe
Steakhouse
house.
is really beautiful.
That place does a heck of a business.
Yeah.
I'm amazed.
Me too.
She came in here the other day to
They have
do
all those
something, and
buildings.
She's so kind too. They're just a really nice family.
And what about the farm across from Malicious? Is it Checky?
Cowberries.
The calories?
Calories.
It's not a
They don't have.
Yeah, they're closed.
food.
It's a
not
seasonal.
restaurant with sit down.
Yeah, don't
Kind
know.
of
For like a deli type
So
of
if we're
thing.
not including, I was thinking more in the business end than the food end.
Yeah,
It's
they're
a
closed
taste.
though.
But
they're
full
closed,
taste of.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a taste of.
Wow.
That answers that.
And what about the State Line Inn?
He's,
That's been for sale. I don't know, is it still
No one's
open?
there, yeah, that's not a,
I know they were
he
trying to
might
sell
have
it.
a food item out of a crock pot.
okay, or
once
a
in
pickled
while.
egg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I haven't been in there in 100
I mean,
years.
I wouldn't even say it's bar food.
Okay.
I think he has hot dogs.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think you might have hot dogs and a popcorn machine.
Popcorn machine.
Let's go.
I've never been there, but I've heard.
I've been there quite a few times. It's an awesome dive.
Really?
I love it.
Never been there.
Really? Oh.
Had an awful lot of colored pictures on, it was either LoopNet or Realtor.com of the inside of that place. I've only turned around in this parking lot. I haven't been in there.
And is the
Yeah.
ranch closed right now? Which one was the other?
Don't know.
It's not for dining though, is it?
Yeah.
It's
I don't
for
know, well, they have a
events.
cafe,
They have a restaurant slash bar.
That you can go to.
But
regularly?
it shuts down in the winter
Yeah.
when the golf course shuts down.
so maybe they
gotta be
shut
getting
down.
close to shutting down, I would think.
I think we've got a pretty healthy
Yeah, I
list.
think so too.
Healthy
And,
list
and
there.
then if we missed anybody, or I'm sorry, if you missed anybody, they'll be dying to be in it next year.
Exactly.
That's right.
Okay, just some food for thought.
Taste
no pun
of.
intended.
And maybe this could be another time of the year as well, too.
Oh, exactly.
In terms
Right.
of old business, got it on the agenda. Do we want to think about, maybe in the spring or whatever, do we want to do a home slash business show? And somebody suggested, well, if you're doing that,
Have the job.
you could
fair.
also include the job fair. Some businesses, oh, I'm looking for help, they could have a sign on their table saying, you know, jobs for retail or short order cook or whatever kind of business is. But just something to start thinking about.
Did you do your job fair?
We didn't, all the space, the
Was taken.
auditorium was
That's
taken
what I
over by the election. Nobody knew that the state legislature was requiring them to do early voting for like 2 weeks, including Saturdays or Sundays.
So are you rescheduling
Well,
that?
we haven't rescheduled that at all, we've no idea. Because as I say, that had been taken away.
Well, I mean, you could
unem-
reschedule it for January and, throw your theme as start the new year with a new job.
Well, the only thing is, in Southwick, the unemployment rate is like 3%. It's almost nothing. Even though businesses have signs, but I think they need to bring in some of their bring in new people as employees from out of town. Because there's only I think it was 150 people, as of August, according to the state, who are unemployed in Southwick, even though there's lots of signs looking for help. And the numerical number was 3%, which is
Do you
very
know how
low.
many businesses in town are looking for employees?
Other than driving up and down the street, there's no way of knowing. Because there's no central place, they don't,
So where do you advertise the job fair? Just in town? To town residents and town businesses? So your pool is small.
well, that's one way, or if we had more time, promote it in the Agawam, Westfield,
Right.
etc. Yeah.
Right,
Or on a Facebook page.
right.
Mhm.
Wink, wink.
But as I say, for now,
was subtle.
I would be worrying too much about the job fair. It's something we can look at again in the spring. And again, for the home and business show, that's something we can think about over the next month or two. Do we want to do one in the spring, or do we want to wait
Oh.
for the fall or whatever?
Sounds quiet.
Anything else we need to bring up?
You just have the minutes from October 19th meeting to review and approve.
Oh, okay, maybe we can look at those next month, because we haven't really had a chance to look at them.
Just for future,
Uh-huh.
the Ag Commission is hoping to do an open farm day that perhaps you could coordinate some event
Uh-huh.
with them, co-sponsor, draw.
Well, they used to have an event over at DPW, and they'd have a few tents and a few businesses, and 4-H was there and various things. But they always seem to have very bad luck. It's like 3 years out of 4, it would pour rain during their event,
Oh,
which
jeez.
is really
Oh, my
unfortunate.
God.
But, I mean, they try, it's volunteers like us. Yeah, I'll have to try to see if I can go to the next ag meeting.
Yeah, or just ask for.
When do they meet? On Wednesdays, do they?
They meet generally once a month, it's
Oh.
on the town website.
Yeah, a different week than you guys. I don't know which week it is, but I don't know. There might be an opportunity for you to coordinate some combined effort with that, and
Did they have they ever updated their brochure? They had one 5 or 6 years ago that
Yes.
listing the various farms in town, and they included at that time
Yep. it's
Granville,
updated. Yep.
because I couldn't find it, didn't see it on the town website. But
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
pretty
know.
nice. It's pretty nice.
It's good. Because again, there could be some cross promotion.
And they updated a right to farm brochure as well, which you might want to have a few of those or put it on your website.
Yeah, I know it exists,
not
but
that website, but
no,
a
I
website.
knew it existed, but I've never.
Yeah, that
Never
came
seen
out
their
pretty
thing.
good too.
We're supposedly real estate agents are supposed to give that to potential buyers or whatever.
Correct.
Are you guys going to make a motion to table the minutes for next month's meeting?
Yeah, let's do that. We'll table the approval of the minutes for October until the December meeting.
Do you need that seconded, or I'll second?
All in favor? Aye. That was unanimous of the 3 members here. Okay, so the next meeting is December 21st. We'll be, among other things, looking at the mission of the EDC, which we've been kind of postponing because of fires we've had over the last couple of months. And we also have to look at the FY24 budget request. We haven't gotten any paperwork from FinCon yet, but typically you get that in December, and they want your budget, your requested budget either in December or in January. We also need to look at approving, spending money for the Granby and the Westfield Chamber of Commerce. Get that money spent, because again,
Dues, yeah.
the dues, because again, when the finance committee and the selectmen meet, they used to meet late January, early February. Last couple of years, they've been moving it to later February or early March. Whenever that comes up, one of the things they look at is they say, oh, your existing budget is X, how much of X have you spent already? So we want to get some of that money spent and taken care of. I was approached by a man last night who's on the FinCon, and he said, I think I'm the liaison to economic development. I said, well, over the last 12 or 15 years, we've never had the liaison, whoever it might be, ever approach us. He's new to the FinCon. He says, oh, I'll probably contact you the next week or two. So
Right.
He's
it
a
was
new
interesting.
regular. He's a new regular member. He was an associate before,
Oh, okay.
so he's been on.
Oh,
He's just
okay.
been an associate. He's very good. He's very good.
Okay. So anything else we need to cover? Jack?
No,
anything?
not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Serena?
Not that I'm aware of either.
Okay, so do I hear a motion to end the meeting?
I'll make a motion. Adjourn.
I'll second it.
Michael McMahon, yes.
Yes, Serena Fuller.
Yes.
Jack? Okay. Okay, so we're all set. Have a good Thanksgiving.